Karlissa didn't just walk into Blueface's homecoming party. She detonated into it like a glitter-coated missile that had been waiting its entire life for a runway. The moment she stepped out that car, the Wi-Fi glitched, 3 ring lights spontaneously died, and somebody's baby daddy whispered, "Lord." She put that on. The energy was so explosive that even the Kardashians tried to file a complaint for stealing their drama quota for the week. People weren't just looking, they were gagging, clutching their pearls, and checking their blood pressure because the outfit was louder than Blueface's entire discography. It was giving Mother of Chaos, Queen of Delusion, and Fashion Apocalypse Survivor all at the same time. And the way she posed, please. Shakespeare himself would have gotten writer's block trying to describe that level of theatrical confidence. But the real scandal isn't the outfit. Oh no, the real scandal is what happened the moment Karlissa spotted Blueface, spotted his crowd, and realized this night belonged to her. Suddenly, the party flipped from a celebration to a live-action Greek tragedy sprinkled with petty explosions, emotional plot twists, and enough shade to start its own solar eclipse. Karlissa's entrance didn't just cause a stir. It triggered a Category 5 family hurricane that meteorologists are still trying to chart. The second she pushed through that doorway, the music didn't even fade, it surrendered. People froze mid-sip, mid-pose, mid-cheating on their diet because nobody expected Blueface's mom to pop out looking like she was auditioning for America's Next Top Problem. The room split in half instantly, the ones pretending not to care, and the ones secretly recording because they knew tonight was about to feed the entire internet for weeks. Blueface's friends were the first to malfunction. One dude blinked so hard you could hear his eyelashes clap. Another stared like he was trying to remember if he owed her money. Even Blueface's security guard stepped sideways like, "Not my job, bro." Not today. It wasn't just the outfit, though that thing screamed louder than a Zeus reunion episode. It was the aura. That motherly but menacing, "I raised you and I'll expose you" energy that hit the room like a spiritual subpoena. The background energy was already chaotic before she arrived. People were gossiping about who Blueface invited, who he didn't invite, and who only showed up because they smelled plowed in the air. But when Karlissa entered, all that low-level drama evaporated. Suddenly, everyone had a new topic: her fit. Neon, glitter, drama, revenge, confusion. The whole thing looked like Fashion Nova and WWE collaborated on a limited edition Chaos Couture collection. And she wore it like she had a personal vendetta against subtlety. The first whispers spread faster than paternity rumors in that household. Why she dressed like that? Where's she going after this? A wrestling match? Is this a homecoming or the Grammys for people who hate each other? But the whispers didn't stay whispers. Someone went live. Then someone else started narrating like they were on Discovery Channel, analyzing Karlissa's walk like it was an endangered creature performing mating rituals. Nobody knew what was about to happen, but everyone could feel it. Karlissa was too calm, too confident, too ready. Blueface was stunned in the kind of way only a son can be stunned when his mom pops out looking like she's about to start beef with the moon. His face dropped into that whiny expression he uses whenever life hands him another family-sized batch of consequences. The man looked like he wanted to unplug the whole party, but fans were eating it up. The chat rooms, the story reposts, the meme factories, all of them turned into fully functioning sweatshops within minutes. The internet loves chaos, and Karlissa had just walked in with a fresh supply dot, and then the first insult disguised as a compliment hit the air. Somebody's auntie yelled, "Okay, Karlissa, I see you," looking like a tax refund and bad decisions. The crowd laughed, but it wasn't funny, it was a declaration. That comment lit the fuse. You could see it on Karlissa's face, the unstoppable urge to clap back, stir the pot, or reclaim attention she felt was rightfully hers. She didn't show up to observe. She showed up to dominate, devour, and disclose secrets nobody asked for. She made her way toward Blueface with the slow, ominous walk of a woman who had been rehearsing this moment in her bathroom mirror. Cameras followed her like paparazzi tracking a scandal in real time. Each step was a threat. Each flip of her hair was a pre-fight bell. Blueface tried to act casual, but his soul was clearly bargaining with God. He looked like a man praying for a distraction, a fire drill, a power outage, a sudden alien invasion, anything to keep his mom from reaching him in that outfit and with that energy dot. When Karlissa finally reached the center of the party, she didn't greet anyone. She didn't hug. She didn't say hi. She just threw her purse onto the nearest table like she owned the building and dared anyone to challenge her territorial claim. The purse hit the table with the exact tone of, "A confession is coming." People stepped back instinctively, the way one might step back from a wild animal that makes direct eye contact. They knew the vibe. Something messy was brewing. The conversations around her shifted instantly. Is she about to fight Blueface? Is this her version of support? Why does it feel like a sermon and a roast are about to collide? Nobody knew. Nobody could predict. All they knew was that Karlissa standing in the middle of a gathering was historically never a soft, peaceful, grandmotherly experience. This woman does not blend. She arrives, detonates, and leaves behind emotional debris everybody trips over for months. Then came the moment that set the tone for the entire night. Karlissa scanned the room, gave a slow judgmental nod, and loudly announced, "I don't know who told y'all to dress like that, but at least I understood the assignment." The crowd erupted, not in applause, but in pure shock and survival instinct. Some people laughed nervously, others looked offended, and a few acted like they didn't hear it even though her voice echoed like she had a built-in microphone. Blueface glanced at his team like, "Please tell me somebody drugged me and this is a hallucination." But nope, this was real. His mom had just declared fashion war. And the worst part? She was getting attention. The kind of attention Blueface thought he was supposed to get on his night. That's when you could see it, the irritation crawling up his spine, the "here she goes again" dread. It was clear Karlissa wasn't just attending the party. She was hijacking it. Every time she moved, a new scandal was born. She leaned over to whisper something to a girl next to her, and the girl's jaw dropped so hard she almost swallowed her tongue. People to this day still debate what Karlissa said. Some claim she made a shady comment about Blueface's baby mamas. Others swear she mentioned DNA tests with the confidence of a woman who stays on Ancestry.com for recreation. Whatever it was, the girl ran off faster than Chrissy in leaving an argument mid-chaos. The tension thickened by the minute. Karlissa wasn't just stirring the pot, she had seized the pot, seasoned it, and started selling servings to anyone within earshot. Her comments kept dropping like overdue bombs. "Some of y'all kids look older than y'all. Why he got y'all standing here like backup dancers? Don't talk to me unless you got a job." Each sentence was a weapon sharpened by motherly audacity and years of built-up petty frustration. Blueface attempted to regain control. He said something like, "Ma, chill." But telling Karlissa to chill is like telling a tornado to stop spinning. The woman thrives on dramatic temperature changes. Instead of listening, she angled her body toward him, tilted her head in that classic "Are you talking to me?" posture, and smiled the kind of smile that promised emotional discomfort for everyone. And that's when it happened. The moment people would replay in slow motion on TikTok for days. Karlissa clapped her hands, laughed dramatically, and said, "Chill? Baby, you the reason I don't chill." The room howled. Blueface shut down like a phone with 1% battery. And the cameras. They zoomed in like National Geographic documenting a dangerous species revealing its dominant ritual. That line set the internet ablaze. Memes popped up instantly. Karlissa as Thanos. Karlissa holding Infinity Stones labeled drama. DNA tests, lives, interviews, and Facebook rants. Everyone agreed on one thing: she had stolen the night. The show, the spotlight, and probably a few egos along the way. And she was barely getting started. The moment Karlissa dropped that "you the reason I don't chill" bomb, the internet practically sprouted wings and flew into hysteria. Every influencer within a 5-mile radius of Wi-Fi started screen recording like their rent depended on it. People who weren't even at the party acted like they had front row seats, offering commentary stronger than espresso shots. Within minutes, hashtags formed, group chats exploded. and 3 different Facebook aunties declared Karlissa the new Beyoncé of mess. The entire party shifted from celebration to live-streamed psychological warfare. Meanwhile, Karlissa stood there basking in the chaos like she had been saving up this dramatic entrance for a national holiday. She didn't just enjoy attention, she inhaled it like oxygen. Fans swear they saw her posture evolve every time a new camera pointed at her. Her back arched a little higher, her chin lifted a little sharper, and her outfit sparkled like it was being powered by pure audacity. It was the kind of confidence you'd expect from a woman who genuinely believes God sends her personalized drama updates every morning. The guests tried to recover, but every attempt was crushed instantly. Someone tried to change the subject by complimenting Blueface's cake, and Karlissa shot back with, "Cake cute, but who baked THESE people?" Another person tried to steer the attention toward the DJ, and she countered with, "DJ dry. Y'all dancing like unpaid extras." Every sentence she delivered was dipped in sarcasm and marinated in pure chaos. She turned the night into a comedy roast without asking for permission or forgiveness. Even celebrities who weren't there started chiming in. Tamar Braxton posted a tweet saying, "Somebody get Karlissa her own show." Lil Durk liked a meme of her holding a microphone like she was about to drop a mixtape. Cardi B commented under a clip, "Mama said what she said." The reactions kept stacking like an O deck, each one raising the tension in the room. It wasn't just a homecoming anymore. It was a cultural event, a moment, a documented act of motherly madness. Then came the memes, and the memes were lethal. One viral clip slowed down Karlissa's walk and added dramatic church organ music, turning her entrance into a horror movie trailer. Another video photoshopped her outfit onto Thanos with the caption, "When you collect all 6 stones of messiness." TikTok stitched her laugh into a remix so catchy that even the haters were vibing. The internet crowned her the CEO of Homecoming Havoc, and honestly, it fit perfectly. But while the world was laughing, Blueface was internally combusting. You could see it in his eyes, that defeated stare of a man realizing the universe has placed him in a never-ending group project with his mother. He tried one last time to gain control, raising his voice in that annoyed son tone that implies he's 2 seconds away from unplugging the router. But it didn't matter. Karlissa's energy was already too big, too bold, too broadcasted to be contained. Because that's when she spotted the cameras, the real cameras. Not the cell phones, not the IG lives, but the film crew someone hired to document the night. The moment she realized she had a professional audience, everything escalated. Her shoulders relaxed, her voice amplified, and she switched into what fans now call her Facebook live mode. The mode where she talks like she's lecturing her entire family tree and half the neighborhood. The mode where she knows millions will hear her, so she calibrates her chaos for maximum impact. She circled Blueface like a seasoned lawyer preparing for cross-examination. Every step added a new layer of tension. People stopped dancing. Drinks froze midair. A random girl clutched her chest like the Holy Ghost had entered the chat. Karlissa tilted her head and said, "So this the life you proud of, huh?" It was the kind of line that could split a family reunion in half. Blueface's jaw dropped into a shape scientists still can't fully describe. Someone in the back whispered, "Oh, she about to expose something." And that whisper spread fast, wildfire fast. Suddenly everyone was bracing themselves, waiting for a secret, a scandal, a bombshell DNA plot twist. This wasn't new. Karlissa loves hinting at forbidden's family tea. She lives for it. It's like her personal brand. Even if she doesn't drop the tea, she makes you think she will. And that alone destabilizes entire rooms. But instead of dropping secrets, she dropped something even worse. Motherly disappointment mixed with performance-level theatrics. She sighed dramatically and said, "Look at this. My son out here celebrating like he ain't raised by the queen." The audacity was unbelievable. The crowd gasped. Blueface's cousins tried not to laugh. A few girls clapped because they thought it was funny. But this wasn't comedy to Blueface. This was character assassination in HD. At this point, fans outside the building started gathering. Word had spread that Karlissa was going viral in real time, and people wanted to witness history. Cars lined up. Strangers peeked inside like they were observing an exotic animal in its natural habitat. The security guard tried to close the doors, but nobody listens when the streets decide a spectacle is happening. It turned into a community viewing event, Karlissa Live, the Chaos Tour. Inside, though, Blueface's patience snapped harder than his rap career during certain months. He muttered something under his breath, and of course, Karlissa heard it because mothers have supernatural auditory abilities when it comes to disrespect. She turned around so fast her earrings almost caused wine damage and said, "Did you say something?" The entire crowd collectively held its breath. Even the DJ froze like someone hit pause on his soul. Then came Karlissa's next level of chaos, the monologue. Fans call it the soliloquy of smoke. She started listing motherhood sacrifices, generational trauma, birth stories, zodiac signs, 3 biblical references, and a few insults aimed at random partygoers who weren't even involved. Her speech didn't make linear sense, but the emotional damage was severe. People nodded even though they didn't understand a single sentence. It was that powerful. The reactions kept rolling in online. Zeus Network posted a cryptic eye emoji. Shade Room uploaded a clip with the caption, "Lord, not tonight." Even Nicki Minaj fans entered the chat, debating whether Karlissa had Queen radio potential. Every demographic found something to argue about. Was Karlissa iconic? Was she unhinged? Was she a visionary for motherly chaos? It became a digital battlefield. Then came the twist, the outfit malfunction. It wasn't major, but it was enough to send the crowd into full revival mode. A strap slipped. A glitter patch shifted. And instead of adjusting quietly like a normal person, Karlissa yelled, "Y'all better not be looking at my good side for free." People screamed. Phones flew into the air. Memes erupted instantly. Karlissa charging for angles. Karlissa online fans coming soon. Homecoming, but make it rated drama. Blueface looked like he wanted to melt into the floor. He stared at the ceiling like he was negotiating with his guardian angel for early retirement from this life. Meanwhile, Karlissa treated the moment like a Beyoncé wind-blown performance, flipping her hair dramatically and smirking at the cameras as if she planned the malfunction for extra views. And just when the crowd thought they had survived the worst, Karlissa approached the mic. The DJ tried to protect it. He really did. But she snatched that mic with the strength of 10 neglected compliments. She tapped it like she was about to deliver a political speech and said, "Let me tell y'all something." And that sentence alone sent shockwaves through the building. That's the Karlissa signature. The line she drops right before unleashing absolute madness. Every camera rose. Every jaw dropped. Every hater leaned in because even they needed to hear what came next. The mic trembled in her hand like it knew the speech coming out of Karlissa's mouth would leave emotional casualties. She took a deep breath, rolled her shoulders back, and unleashed a voice that carried the tone of a mother who has waited her entire life to embarrass her child at maximum volume. "Y'all think this party cute," she said, "but let me remind you who built this man right here." The crowd erupted like someone had thrown a match into a fireworks factory. Even the people who weren't paying attention suddenly snapped their necks around because everyone knows Karlissa only touches microphones when she plans to inflict damage. Blueface's entire soul left his body. His eyes glazed over like he was mentally drafting an apology letter to God, Beyoncé, and the general public. Meanwhile, Karlissa continued rambling with the confidence of someone who thinks every thought she has is profound enough to be quoted in history books. She started talking about sacrifices she made in 2003, random beef she had with Blueface's teachers, and a monologue about the struggles of raising a superstar who forgets who the real star is, which had absolutely nothing to do with Homecoming but everything to do with her personal agenda. By now the room was split between people clutching their chests and people filming, like they were documenting a natural disaster. Someone whispered, "Should we stop her?" And someone else whispered back, "Are you crazy? You trying to die tonight?" Nobody intervened. Nobody wanted that smoke. Even the DJ backed away slowly, making sure he wasn't in the line of fire. Karlissa's energy was too big, too booming, too unstoppable, like a runaway train powered by petty memories and unhealed childhood beliefs. But then she did the unthinkable. She turned the microphone directly on Blueface. She pointed it at him like she was hosting a game show called Who Raised This Man? And loudly said, "Tell these people thank you. Tell them who you get your looks from. Tell them who taught you how to walk, talk, breathe, and be somebody." The room screamed. Blueface blinked 3 times, probably trying to trigger a reset button in his brain, but nothing worked. He was trapped. This was his final boss fight. He mumbled something under his breath, but whatever it wasn't loud enough. Karlissa leaned forward like a drill sergeant and yelled, "Louder!" The crowd lost its mind. People started chanting louder, with her like it was a cult ceremony. Even the people who disliked her got swept into the moment because chaos has a gravitational pull. Blueface, defeated and emotionally dehydrated, finally said, "Thank you," but the tone sounded like a man reading hostage instructions. Karlissa smiled, not a sweet smile, but the smile of a villain who just completed a mission. She patted his shoulder in the most passive-aggressive way possible and then turned back to the crowd like she had just delivered a sermon that belonged in the Bible. But before she could continue, someone shouted, "But why you dress like that though?" The crowd hollered. This was the trigger. You could practically hear the record scratch inside Karlissa's mind. Her head whipped toward the voice like a predator locating its prey. Her eyes narrowed, and her outfit, glittering under the cheap party lights, seemed to shimmer in sync with her rage. She said, "You wish you could wear this. You wish you had my confidence. Have y'all scared to even wear color?" The room gasped like a trapped audience in a reality show finale. Then she added, "Don't hate on what you can't handle." And honestly, it was iconic, delusional, and hilarious all at once. But the night wasn't done torturing Blueface. Because suddenly, out of nowhere, someone started chanting Karlissa say, "Karlissa say," and the entire building followed. It echoed. It shook the windows. It turned the night into a pep rally for pure insanity. Karlissa basked in it like she was accepting a Grammy. She threw her hands up, blew kisses, and spun around like a fashion meteor spinning through Earth's atmosphere. Blueface tried to cut the chant short, but the crowd refused. They had tasted chaos and wanted more. And Karlissa, she fed off it like a solar panel plugged into drama. She said, "See? They love me. They always love me." Then she winked at Blueface as if she knew this would haunt him forever. The level of petty was so advanced that scientists would later classify it as its own psychological category. Then came the final blow, the speech about loyalty. Karlissa leaned back into the mic and said, "If you'll think any woman gonna replace me, y'all crazy. Ain't nobody replacing the original. Ain't nobody doing what I do." The air became a pressure cooker. People exchanged scandalized glances. Someone in the back whispered, "She talking about Christian." Another said, "She talking about AL." All of them, the tension wrapped around the room like a snake ready to squeeze. Blueface tried to intervene again, but Karlissa ignored him. She said, "I'm the reason this night even makes sense. I'm the mother and the moment." At that point, Blueface emotionally shut down like a laptop overheating. He put a hand over his face and muttered something along the lines of, "Bro, I can't do this." Fans swore they saw his soul clock out early and leave the building. But Karlissa wasn't done celebrating herself. She dropped the mic, not gently, not respectfully, but with the force of a woman who believes gravity works for her personally. The mic thudded on the floor, causing a wave of shocked gasps. And instead of apologizing, she said, "Y'all heard me. That's enough." Then she walked off like she had just closed a multi-million-dollar deal, leaving a trail of glitter, confusion, and emotional trauma behind her. The aftermath hit instantly. People rushed to comment sections. Twitter caught fire. TikTok birthed 200 new sound trends. Instagram Reels recycled her best lines. Reporters joked that Karlissa had achieved what scientists couldn't. turning a simple homecoming into a full-scale cultural event. Fans debated whether she was the villain, the hero, or the chaotic neutral goddess the world needed. The internet agreed on one thing: the night belonged to Karlissa, for better or worse. Blueface left the party early. He looked like a man who had aged 10 years in 1 hour. His team was silent. His friends avoided eye contact. Nobody dared speak about the night in his presence. Meanwhile, Karlissa went home smiling like she had finally restored balance to the universe. Rumor has it she even went live afterward, bragging about how she shut it down like always. And honestly, nobody could argue. The party ended, but the memes didn't. They multiplied. They evolved. They migrated to other platforms. People compared her entrance to Rihanna's Met Gala looks. They compared her attitude to 50 Cent during beef season. They compared her speech to church aunties when they get the spirit mixed with caffeine. And through all of it, Karlissa thrived. She didn't just cause a scene. She created a phenomenon, a spectacle, a historical event in the timeline of messy family entertainment. And as the dust settled, everyone realized one truth. When Karlissa shows up, the night is no longer about anyone else. It becomes her stage, her show, her empire of chaos. And Blueface, poor man. He learned the hard way that no matter how big the event is, no matter how many people show up, no matter how good the vibe starts. And if you're still here after surviving Karlissa's homecoming hurricane, congratulations! You deserve hazard pay, emotional support, and possibly a commemorative t-shirt. Nights like this don't happen often. Nights where chaos walks in wearing glitter, hijacks the spotlight, checks the temperature of the room, and then decides to boil it to 300 degrees just for fun. But you already know this channel stays strapped with the wildest celebrity meltdowns, family implosions, and drama so explosive it should come with an evacuation map. So before you escape back into real life, do the responsible thing and smash that like button like it owes you money, respect, and child support. Hit subscribe the way Karlissa hits Facebook. Live aggressively, confidently, and at the worst possible time. Drop a comment telling me whose homecoming I should crash next, whose outfit should be investigated by federal authorities, and whose family drama deserves a full Netflix spin-off. You know I read everything, even the delusional ones. Turn on notifications because these scandals do not clock out, take breaks, or wait politely for you to finish your snacks. The drama arrives when it wants to, kicks down the door, and demands to be covered immediately. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next explosion, the next feud, the next viral catastrophe disguised as a celebration. Around here, every hour is breaking news, every day is damage control, and every week is a new chapter in celebrity chaos history. This is Celeb SYNC, where we don't just spill the tea, we brew it, boil it, bless it, and blast it straight into the universe.